Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!
Welcome, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends to Spoiler Sleepover. I'm Rob.
And I'm Jason Michael.
And you're not seeing us right now, but you're about to see us really soon, just simply because we record, as you already know, our openers so that they're fresh. So the interview has already been done, so you're just hearing our voices and looking at our beautiful logo right now. And if you're listening, then you're like, what am I? I'm not looking at anything. I'm watching the road so that I don't crash and die.
Good.
So keep watching the road.
We're gatekeeping this awesome interview to tell you things.
Tell you things like what's been keeping you up at night. Hey, Jason Michael, what's been keeping you up at night?
Well, I'll tell you. As I stated, I don't even remember how many weeks ago at this point, I went on a walk with the dogs, and it was very Silent Hill. So I've been not only watching all the shit fiesta movies that we've been talking about, but I felt very compelled to watch Wolfman. I said Wolfman like Stephen Wolfman, but Wolfman movies.
Wolf-Man.
Wolf-Man. Wolf Spaceman? Ooh, that's a joke we've already made before. We
Still want to see it.
Yeah, listen, there's got to be a werewolf in space movie. There has to be. If anything, we should have found it for this season. Maybe we did. Who's to know? Either way,
who's to know?
I rewatched Wolfman 2010. It's, I think, maybe my third or fourth watch, and it's not as bad as I gave it credit for. It's trying to be a bit more graphic of the 1941 remake, which I respect, but at the same point, I feel like it took a bit of the magic out of the 1941 movie. And as, again, I keep saying it, we are going to have an episode on 2025's Wolfman, and we will be talking about it. But god damn it, that fucking werewolf fight, father-son werewolf fight, JB, I don't care if you thoroughly enjoy it. I hate it. It sucks. I did not need to see Sir Anthony Hopkins versus Benicio del Toro in a werewolf fight. I know I'll eat my words in a little bit when we get to Wolfman, but at the same point, I did not like this one. I did not think we needed it, and it just felt to me. But other than that, I do think it was a good modern rendition of a 1940s movie remake with like darker twists and turns that they didn't entirely have budget or time for, because again, all the movies back then were like 70 minutes. So,
right.
Other than that, I have been going back and continuing Daredevil, Born Again, and it's
delicious.
It's really good. It's really dark. It's really sad. It's really scary. And at the same point, I'm still very, very much so compelled to go back and watch the old 2 seasons. And oh no, that means I'll have to watch Punisher again. What a fucking shame.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Great show.
Fucking fantastic show. Holy shit. But other than that, it's been playing the Shattered Veil, the new Black Ops 6 Zombies map. I'm going to guess we're probably getting 1, maybe 2 more after this one. It's different. I liked the one prior to this, The Tomb, which felt like mummies and zombies and monsters. This one just feels like almost Haunted Mansion-y, but at the same point, just very like close quarters, and I'm still getting the feel for it. So I'll report back, but as of right now, Black Ops 6 Zombies, whatever the rest of the community, because every community and fandom is always going to be fucking divided. I am still on this is a tremendous version of Zombies, Black Ops 6. That's what's been keeping me up at night. Rob, what about you?
Well, I actually have things to talk about that aren't my programs. So I have been watching The Pit on Max. I had heard about the show and I was like, it's another hospital drama, whatever. And then I found out that Fiona Dourif is in the show. And I was just like, bitch, shut up. I'm here. And so I've been watching that and it is awesome. Honestly, as a hospital drama, it's probably one of the best I've seen in a long time. The entirety of the show takes place in one shift. So each episode is 1 hour of it. So it's like, yeah.
I've only seen like scrolling through YouTube reels or whatever they're called, shorts. And I've seen one of them and it already is like, holy shit, that's weird. And I love it. But knowing that fact now is like, how much worse can this show get?
Dude, it's so good. And it's so like every emotion you can imagine you're going through because it will follow like certain patients for like 3 hours.
You said it's on Max?
Episodes. It's on Max, dude. It's so worth the watch.
I think this is going to be the only other thing besides Tyler, the Creator, that I've gone, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah, dude, it's good. I'm really enjoying it a lot. My other sell point was they don't use CGI, so they're doing practical for all of the surgical procedures, and everybody that they hired to work on the practical are special effects artists that have worked on horror movies.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, dude, this is awesome. So yeah, it's really, really good. I really enjoy it. I had to give it a break. The last episode I watched actually hit me pretty hard, and a little too close to home. So I got sad. So I was just like, I need to give the show a break for a minute. So
how many episodes are they on?
I'm not well, I think the entire show is out. I think they just dropped it, but I don't know. I think it's 12 episodes, so 12 hours maybe. I think that's what a hospital shift is, but yeah. So I ended up clearing my palate and taking a break from that to watch the new season 3 of Love on the Spectrum. My partner and I started watching that together because we've watched the first 2 seasons and tried the Australian one and it wasn't that great, but it's awesome. I love it. It's cute. We have people we love. We have people we hate. It is what it is. The more exciting news is there is a brand new Gundam show, and it is being released episode to episode worldwide. So currently the first episode has been released.
Up on Gundam style.
And you can watch it on Amazon Prime. It is ridiculously good. If you ever watched or enjoyed Evangelion, it's by the same writers and animators. So the Gundams are a little bit more elongated. The fight battles are insane. It's just fucking delicious.
We do love insane fights.
Yeah. And the last thing, I had a little date night with my own mother and went over and we had dinner and watched A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. And it was fucking awesome. So as a guy who loves all types of music, I absolutely love folk music. I grew up on it. Like that's what I was raised on. And I personally, I don't understand people's disdain for Timothée Chalamet.
I just don't like his fucking face.
He did Bob Dylan justice. Like, he embodied Dylan in every way, shape, and form.
I can 100% see that. I just hate, I really don't like his face.
Well, I mean...
that means I don't like Bob Dylan's face. Fuck.
I love Bob Dylan. But yeah, the movie was great. I absolutely loved it. It was not what I was expecting.
Okay.
And that made me kind of happy, actually, that it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting, like most of these biopics, where it's, let's run through the person's life. Okay. It doesn't do that.
Okay.
It starts when he steps foot in New York, and then it ends after he released the one album that pissed everybody off, and he went to a folk festival and played with an electric guitar, and then he just jumped on his motorcycle and fucked off. I was like, dude, this is the best ending. This is awesome. So, if you like Dylan, I highly recommend, if you can get past some weird disdain for an actor, honestly, it's worth the watch. Like, I personally don't like Jack Black, but I will watch the Minecraft movie just because I also love Minecraft, but the movie looks like it sucks ass, but I'll still watch it because it's fucking Minecraft, man. Like, I'm not going to pay money for it. I'll wait till that bitch is streaming. It's not getting my money. that's it, man.
Good.
I watched a bunch of new stuff.
But let us know what's been keeping you up at night. If you've seen the Minecraft movie, keep those thoughts to yourself. I'm kidding. Please let us know. We still love to hear it, no matter how much we don't want to talk about real shit movies more than we already have to this season. But instead of talking about what's been keeping us up at night, we're talking about some squiggly little things in our ears called earworms. Rob, I know yours, and you're very excited about it. Why don't you start us off?
You don't know mine, and you probably shouldn't be excited. You should be disappointed in me.
Oh.
So, I had said last episode that I'd fallen behind, and I needed to start listening to the rest of the Ghost albums. And
I thought you were talking about the one that you texted me. Never mind.
I ended up making a big goof because I went, you know what? There's a band that I really love, and realistically, I only love 4 of their albums, but that's because I haven't given the middle of their catalog a decent listen. And so I started from the first album, and I'm now currently on the 5th album. I am working my way through Coheed and Cambria's catalog. And my God, there's my brother and I have close to very similar taste in music. And there are moments where we do differ and we do disagree. And there's one of the Coheed albums he does not like at all. Does not like it. And I can't remember when I heard it. I mean, I must have listened to it when it first came out and then never listened to it again. But listening to it now, I'm noticing, I know why he doesn't like it, but I fucking love the album. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, it's so goddamn good. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I'm working my way through that. I have, let me do a proper check so that I can actually say exactly. So I'm currently on Year of the Black Rainbow, and that's the album he does not like, and I am fucking loving it. It's so good.
Is that the one with Pearl of the Stars?
It is. Okay. Dude, that song made me tear up.
Dude, that's a beautiful song. That is,
it's a fucking gorgeous song.
My best friend showed me that song when we were in high school, and holy shit, like, young, teenage, emotional Jason was like, yup.
Yeah, it's a good song. I mean, the album is just great. So after that, I have to listen to the Aftermath duos. There's 2 albums. Okay. Luckily, on Spotify, they have it, the deluxe edition, which is just both albums together.
Love
it. I won't have to switch between albums. And then I have to listen to The Color Before the Sun. I have to listen to The Unheavenly Creatures, Vexus 2, and then I get to re-listen for the 20,000th time to their newest album, The Father of Make Believe. And that album is chef's kiss. So good. And I'm just doing this all leading up to August when I'm going to see them live. That's so far out.
I think you have time.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time. But I also would like to pinpoint some songs I really like and get the lyrics down so that
fair.
I can sing along a little bit more. I know the first 3 albums, I know every lyric to every song, like the back of my hand.
How'd the freckle get there?
They're not gonna, they're gonna play songs from those albums. They're the most popular albums. But my brother said he went and saw them for their album release party in New York City, and they played songs he didn't even knew existed, and they weren't from the new album. And I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this right now. Because I don't want to be like, the fuck is this song? I want to be like, oh, I know this one.
That's also the gambit you play when you go see a band on tour for their new album cycle. It's like they will play old shit, but they are going to play a good portion of new shit. Like when Avenged started touring for their Life is But a Dream tour, they played, I think it was either 8 or 9 out of 11 of their new songs on the show, nice. Which, fuck yeah, here for it. That Life is But a Dream is a beautiful album. But at the same point, you're also like, fuck, then you got to mix in Afterlife, you got to mix in Hail to the King, Nightmare, like Unholy Confessions. You got to hit in or get in all the hits with the new shit. So I respect it, but also at the same point, I'm in the same boat with you. That's what I tried to do for Whitechapel, but trying to understand Phil's vocals all the time doesn't always go so easy.
No. Well, that's what's been squiggling in and out of my ear holes. What's been squiggling in and out of your ear holes this week?
Well, to speak of more shows that we went to, again...
Fucking Whitechapel.
No. surprisingly, actually not a lot of Whitechapel. But me and a few of my friends, we took a trip down to Boston, and we saw good old Ninja Sex Party at Roadrunner, and their opening act / supporting band of TWRP, or TWERP, or if I remember correctly, it stood for, and they changed it so they didn't get sued, was Tupperware Remix Party. But like I'd only known them as the backing band. I never knew that they were their own band, and they came out and they played a bunch of their songs, and it was a blast. And they were describing, we are from the 1980s and outer space and Canada. It's like, dude, fuck yes, I'm here for it. So they're a costume band, they're a theatric band as much as Ninja Sex Party is, but also at the same point, kind of Devo-esque. But I've been listening to all their albums so far. They have 5 albums, a bunch of singles and EPs, but Together Through Time, Return to Wherever, and Over the Top. I just started the 4th, new and improved. So far, dude, it's awesome. Like 1980s, hell yeah. Sounds outer spacey. It's positive. So I mean, you can look, lump that in with Canada if you want to, but it's fun. I love it. TWRP or TWERP, definitely go give them a chance and a listen to. They do a lot of songs with Dan Avidan, Danny Sexbang of Ninja Sex Party. They do a lot of songs with him as well. So, TWERP, go listen to him.
Twerp that twerp.
Twerping. But that's what we've been listening to. That's our earworm squiggling in and out. Let us know what you have been listening to. If you are also going to the Coheed and Cambria show, if maybe perchance you were also at the Ninja Sex Party and Twerp show. I got a few messages after that from people I didn't even know were there. So that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. But, of course, we can't start the interview until we get through a little...
Yep.
That's not a great start.
I don't know. I mean, I know how I feel about this. Let's see how you feel about this.
Okay. I have no idea.
I'm going to start with the writer-director's name, and we'll both get probably the same reaction. So it was just announced that Mike Flanagan...
Okay. This could go one of two ways.
He is doing a Carrie TV show.
TV show?
He's doing a Carrie series.
About...
high school, I guess. I don't know. The events take place, it's child abuse in high school, and then the last episode will be the prom.
So, pretty much the movie?
How do you make a series out of it? Yeah. How do you make a series out of this? Why? Here's the thing. He's the perfect person for this because his writing is fucking boring as shit. So if you want to bore the fuck out of some people, this is the right way to do it.
If you haven't heard our feelings on Mike Flanagan, go back to our episode with Dead Bodies Bathtub on Terrifier 3. Boy howdy, and my feelings still won't change.
Yeah,
You'll get the joke if you listen to it.
This is dumb. I just wanted to get it out there. This is stupid.
Okay.
It's fucking dumb. I don't know what else to say about this. This is dumb. It's a stupid idea. Don't fucking do it.
Don't want to hate it.
I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, sure. Line Stephen King's pockets. He's still writing good books, in my opinion, so whatever. But I also feel like Stephen King needs to pull the brakes at some point and be like, dude, no. Just fucking absolutely not. He must love Mike Flanagan. I mean, they kind of, to a point, have a similar writing style. King puts too much detail into most of his books, but at the end of the day, he also weaves in good shit, and Flanagan just writes too much. There's too much shit, and it's fucking boring. I don't know if it's his writing or his directing. It's probably the combination of both. Either way, this Carrie series is a fucking stupid idea. This is dumb. I hope it gets canned. I hope they just go, this was dumb. Why did we say yes?
Also, at the same point, like, if it's literally childhood trauma and bullying in high school, and I'm not saying make a show about childhood trauma, but at the same point, it literally just sounds like you're remaking the movie, which has already been done. If you're gonna do it, you might as well just remake it again. But at the same point, It doesn't need to be a series. Is it Prime?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's either Prime or it's Netflix. Either one.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Prime canceled it and Netflix picked it up. And that's what's been going on. They've been throwing Mike Flanagan around like the fucking Village Bicycle. He's going to both.
Everybody gets a ride.
Literally. Oh, man. I'm just glad it's not Hulu, because I don't want to hate Hulu. I love Hulu. So
Hulu's got some good shit. Like
anyways,
the newest season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia is being filmed. So, hey.
Oh, fuck yeah. I didn't know that. That's even way better creeping it real. Fuck what I just said.
Well, at the same point, we have no fucking clue when it's coming out, but it's either in writing or it's being filmed. Either way, they're working on it. Always Sunny.
I'm here for it.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And now, before we jump into the interview, it's time for everybody's new favorite segment, Selena's Thoughts. This is Selena's Thoughts for 11-11-11. You know what our thoughts are. These are Selena's thoughts. Oh, wow. 11-11-11 has achieved something I didn't think possible. It made time stand still. It was a horrible movie that pretty much just mix-matched other horror movies we've all seen. Horrible special effects. A few moments that made me laugh, which I know was not the intention of the writers. The only thing I was thinking after watching it was, what did they use for the blood in the opening sequence? Was that barbecue sauce? Because it definitely looked like it. That is Selena's thoughts on 11-11-11. And honestly, I mean, I at least would have thought that she would have picked up on the Argento feel from the opening, but I mean, now looking back, yeah, it definitely looked like barbecue sauce, but
yeah.
But that, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, was Selena's thoughts.
I love that sound.
Moist.
Moister than a cloister. Now, let's get real moister than a cloister and get to this interview, baby.
Welcome back, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends to Spoiler Sleepover, and a very special episode at that. We are graced with two amazing and talented people today that are, oh man, Jason Michael, we've been talking about this literally since season 1. Like, hey, could you imagine if we actually went somewhere with this fucking podcast? What would we want? We'd want to talk to people who work at haunts, who are haunters, who do the makeup, who do all of the effects, and even more so, I mean, I just want to walk through one and like with a microphone and just see how many we can guess where they are going to jump out. But we're not doing that. We actually have two people here. We have Joey, who is a haunter, and we have Levi, who does amazing effects and makeup for the haunts. Joey, Levi, thank you so much for joining us. We're amped to have you here. How are you both?
Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
I'm doing really good. I was literally talking about this at work all day, which for people that aren't watching or don't know, I actually met this or like found out about this whole thing from working at Trader Joe's in Newington. So shout out to Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. It pays my bills, and
seriously shout out to Trader Joe's.
We love Trader Joe's.
I was telling everyone there, like, hey, I'm recording this thing today, and it's like, and they're all like, dude, that's freaking sick, and it's like, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Yeah,
dude,
thank you so much. At Ulta today, and I was like, oh yeah, I have this amazing podcast I'm about to go do. I had a class, and then I get to podcast, which is pretty rad.
That's awesome. Yeah, Trader Joe's is where I get not majority. I get a portion of my vegan goods from there because it's hit or miss. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. And one visit, I met Joey. Now this is happening. It's awesome. I say,
thank
go
you,
for
Trader
it.
Joe's.
Still get your jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Get your jack-o'-lantern tattoo. Fucking do it.
So, I really want to. It's happening. I really do.
Next one.
You two are going to fist bump jack-o'-lanterns. It's going to be awesome.
We will. I know it.
We're going to smash pumpkins. That sounded suggestive. I apologize.
Listen, I smelled what you stepped in there. I got you.
It's okay.
It's a pretty good reference. Adequate.
I liked it.
All right.
Respect.
So at the top, I wanna ask, where do you both haunt? Like, what haunts do you both work?
We work at Nightmare New England Spooky World in Litchfield, New Hampshire.
Ooh.
So that's like one of the, if not one of the biggest haunt attractions in New England. I can't remember if it is the biggest, but yeah.
I think it's definitely the biggest, I believe, like in terms of like size, because it is a huge like property that they have, because it's connected to Mel's Funway Park in Litchfield. And what
okay.
Mel's Funway Park is, it's basically like a place you can go to go mini golfing. They have batting cages. They even have like a little Mexican restaurant in there with some really good food.
It's a pretty fun park.
During the October season, they have a little extension of what they have in their property. It's a little haunt attraction that has actually been around since the early 90s as a kind of not a traveling, well, I guess it was a traveling haunt convention, or not really a convention, more like a festival per se, called Spooky World, and they mainly placed it in Lowell, Mass, and Foxborough, Mass, and they would have it for like a weekend here and a weekend there in like the 90s, and they would mainly have special guests there, like actors and celebrities from the horror industry, like apparently like Tom Savini, Robert Englund, Elvira was like a guest back then. Like even if you go on YouTube now, they have a little like, not like a documentary per se, but kind of like a little like intro like video from like the 90s of I think Kane Hodder actually narrated it, of like Spooky World back in like the 90s, and that's kind of where it all started. Yeah.
Of course it was
And kind of all came full circle. And if you ever like, Spooky World has like a rich history in New England haunting for sure. With it being probably the biggest like haunt attraction in New England, while also having like that rich history of being a part of like the horror industry, not just for haunts, but also like it, because a lot of like the really famous like haunt celebrities at the time were celebrities there meeting fans, were also going through the haunts too. And it was also just a really big thing for actors too, like haunt actors, like starting out doing their thing. From what I've heard, they did it for free as like a volunteer kind of thing, because it was only like a couple nights.
Do love free haunts.
And
love a free haunt.
and fun fact, for any of you guys who are into like metal music, in the band Ice Nine Kills, I found out the lead singer Spencer Charnas actually was an actor for the original Spooky World when he was a teenager.
No shit.
In
wow.
Mass. So yeah, I found that out at when I went to Silver Scream Con one year, when they actually had the person that ran Spooky World, the original Spooky World, in Mass, and he like signed. I don't have it with me actually. I should.
It's in our living.
I should have probably grabbed it.
We have a poster from one of the original Spooky Worlds, right?
Yeah, because they did like a little documentary film. I don't know if it's on a streaming service or not. I'm not sure which one, but it's called Spooktacular. And
I will look it up in the
we
back.
will find it.
yeah. It's somewhere.
Yeah, we'll definitely find it
out there. I unfortunately haven't seen it yet, which is surprising, because I like to learn a lot about a lot of haunts around the U.S.
So I've got another thing to go off of that. We'll also bring it up at the end just so everyone has it again. But what's the opening and closing dates for Spooky World?
We usually start Spooky World around the second to last like Friday and Saturday of September, and then it goes into the first weekend of November. And it's always the final night. The final night of Spooky World is always a special lights out event. This year they actually had it on November 2nd. So it's usually around that time, November 5th, November 2nd, usually around that time. Well,
Sweet.
because like what they do is they're open like on that Friday, and then it's usually Saturday is like the last day, and we have like a big bonfire for like all the actors and like people of the crew for Spooky World, and we all like to basically celebrate. And funny enough,
That is
the final
awesome.
night this year was on my birthday because my birthday's on November 3rd. So we basically were there till like past midnight, and everyone sung happy birthday to me, which was pretty awesome.
Nice.
That is
Now,
great. That's an awesome way to start your birthday.
I have a question on the last night. Because personally, when October ends, I feel like all the spooky magic is gone. How occupied is it usually on that last night in November?
It depends on the weather. It really depends on the weather. This year I act as well as do the makeup, but there were some nights that I specifically chose to just keep it makeup because of the rain or the snow or the cold. Oh my gosh. And it would fluctuate. So on the last few nights, I think November 3rd, that last Saturday, was pretty all right. I think we had full trucks at least for the first few hours. But yeah, when that rain comes down, I'm surprised when people come out. There's a couple full tractors. You'd be surprised. There's full tractors on rainy nights, but in below 30, I'm okay. In fur, out in the woods, in Litchfield,
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
It's fun.
I'm so small out there.
I'm 5 foot, weigh probably 100 pounds soaking wet. Like I would be very cold in those woods.
Yeah.
They drag me out.
Oh man. Yeah. So speaking of the haunt and makeup, Joey, for you, do you create your own character going into this, or are you assigned a character and you're like allowed to build upon it? Like how exactly does it function?
Yeah. So for in our case, me and Levi's case, since we're both actors for the hayride, what it entails is it depends on the night, and we're like basically scheduled a certain scene of the hayride, and we can create characters for that scene. It just depends on which night it is. Like, if you prefer being in, let's say, like we have a slaughterhouse scene in the hayride. If you just like working slaughter and you're really good at it and you want to just keep being in there, you can ask, be like, hey, let me do slaughter house like for like the whole season. I like to mix it up, obviously, because it makes it more interesting throughout the season. But yeah, no, I do have like certain characters that I do per scene. So like for an example, we have a what we call a sideshow scene in the hayride, which is very fun. It's a very fun scene. It's basically off of like the like early freak show scenes where they have like kind of sideshow attraction type characters where they have like like the sword swallower or like the bearded lady, stuff like that. And we kind of make it really entertaining, but also give it like more of like a horror edge to it. Kind of like the movie Freaks from Todd Browning.
Ooh.
Yeah, buddy.
Shout out to that movie. We love that movie.
For a good example from Sideshow, while we're on it, we each have characters in there that we both created. Our best friend Spencer, who's a scare actor with me, and Joey, we were all in this scene together, and it was kind of a hard scene to create a character for because as like tattooed alternative people now, we kind of know that that doesn't make you a freak or scary,
right? Because they have like a big poster of like the tatted person.
The tattooed man, and it's like, brother, I'm the tattooed man.
I'm not. I know, literally.
And so the three of us were trying to have fun and make light of this kind of, not bland but a little bit quiet scene, and I created a lizard man. I was given a lizard costume, and I was like, okay, well, this is what I have to work with tonight. And as the makeup artist, I get last picks, which is totally fine. I can work with whatever, and I usually make closet costumes anyway. But this was the first night, and I was a lizard man. And this created, I ended up getting a crowd favorite pin because Mr. None of Your Business was born, who is a lizard.
Whose chair is that? Not my problem. That's what I
It's
say.
not my problem, all right? It's none of your business.
It's the walk down me, I'm a walkway. This guy.
And we have full stories for these characters. Like, on our drives there, it's about an hour and a half. So, like, me and Spencer, our friend, would be driving up, and I'm like, all right, where did none of your business come from? And I'm looking up stuff about lizards, and I'm 5 foot, like, I'm the smallest person on cast, and I'm 23 years old. So I was like, what's the smallest lizard in the United States? And I looked it up, figured out the name, found out that they lived in packs. So his whole story was that he lived in a pack in Brooklyn, but he wants to become a Maine fisherman. So he's working his way down to get to Maine to become a Maine fisherman because he wants to be alone.
That's
He's not
fucking
scary,
awesome.
but he'll get in your face and he'll make you laugh.
Oh my god.
And then your
that's
business's
amazing.
friends are Webster the Spider, which is Joey, which I have a very fun makeup look that I do for it. And then our friend Spencer is the bearded lady named Betty, the bearded lady.
Nice. Love alliteration.
So, oh yes.
Yeah, they're from the Bronx, and they wear heels and pearl earrings, and like have a pearl necklace, and like holds a cigarette.
Nanya and Betty have history. They have history. There's a lot.
Oh,
there's a
that's
lot.
awesome.
You have to come to the sideshow to figure it out, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You
And
only
then, like,
figure out the
we
lore
will.
while you go.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we've already discussed we are definitely going to be coming this year with phones and microphones in hand.
coordinate
So
We
yeah,
can
we will
coordinate that,
100% coordinate this.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Jason Michael,
Kinda-
did you had something you wanted to feed off of with the character development?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you took my question without even knowing it. Of like, do you have any specific characters in your repertoire, or just anything and everything? So that's
one of them. We have a whole. We each have about we have a handful each because some nights you have more energy than others. So especially when I'm sitting there doing makeup for 3 hours, sometimes I don't want to go be my lizard, especially if I'm not cast in that scene. So we have other characters. Like I have, there's this scene and it's like a toxic waste farm. And, my character's name is Buck, and Spencer has a character named Daisy, and Buck and Daisy, are siblings, and they have a whole lore, and they're just crazy and cannibalistic and
love it.
Toxic waste, and they have their lore goes so deep, and it makes no sense to anybody else, but they're like fourth dimension. We've made them fourth dimensional, so like in the way that cartoon characters can just become anything, like go and be a police officer for no reason in an episode, like Buck and Daisy can do that. So we can go in any scene and be Buck and Daisy. We're just dressed up in disguise.
That's
because
awesome.
The toxic radioactive
that gives me
crew made it.
Yeah, that gives me like Otis Driftwood and Baby vibes.
Yes.
Depending on which movie you're watching, they're one or the other.
They're someone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
they're just there.
I'm pretty sure even Spencer's character Daisy is like heavily based off of the hitchhiker from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
She is,
Ooh,
yeah.
based off of Nubbins.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nubbins.
Yeah,
That's the name of my cat down in Massachusetts.
nice.
Because it was more fun to yell than his original name, which was Leroy, but we kept Nubbins Leroy.
Nibbins,
I love that.
Jenkins?
And then Joey
love
has
that.
Joey's been doing scare acting much longer than I have. This was my first full year, and I just got blessed with the fact that they knew everybody, and I got into the makeup field of things. But
Did I just send you my list of questions beforehand? Because it's like you're answering everything before I get a chance to ask it. You are on the ball, Levi.
Oh, good. I'm so happy to help. It's my jam to talk about this stuff. So yeah.
First full year.
Well, let me. When did you find out or start moving towards knowing you wanted to do makeup in this realm? Like, obviously, you just told us where you work, so like makeup is a huge part of your identity, who you are, a love that you have. But when it comes down to like horror and haunt makeup, when did that become an interest of yours?
So that's such a good question, and it goes really deep. So I'm glad that I have a good answer for it. I've been into horror and stuff since I was so young, like middle school, and I would start by just playing with random makeup and I was a creepypasta kid, like to the max. So I would dress up like creepypasta characters for Halloween and stuff, and that was where it started. And then coincidentally, I ended up going into doing hair and creative hair cutting, and I'm a drag queen, and drag is scare makeup in itself sometimes, and like I make it creative like that too. My scare acting goes into my drag heavy, but I I've it's kind of always been my thing, and I actually have two sisters, and we're all a little bit artsy, and she's an airbrush face painter in Oregon. Um, and she heavily inspired me as well. She's a little shout out to my sister Sarah. She's one of the top makeup or face painters in Eugene. She's really cool. Pop and frizzle face painting.
That's
sick.
Awesome.
She actually did some horror makeup recent. It's funny, we're inspiring each other. She went to a makeup convention. She was doing horror makeup, and she was sending it to me so I could get ideas for next year.
All right, 23. Levi. So you brought up that you do drag. So I've got to ask, what is your drag name?
My drag name is Morticia Delicia.
Love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you. She's about, I think I've been Morticia Delicia about 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That's
fantastic. Now, does Morticia have her own Instagram or Facebook or anything like that?
Yeah, Morticia Delicia is at the.morticia with 2 A's on Instagram. And then I actually have my own little drag group that hangs around Portsmouth and New Hampshire and just around the area, and we perform and do some unconventional drag. So we're not just like glitz and glamour. We like to get a little funky and weird. Put some scare acting into our drag sometimes. Like we have a show coming up actually on the 26th, I believe, of next month. And it's going to be robots versus aliens themed. So.
Shit, yes.
We're called Not Your
So
Mama.
You
guys should come.
I will do my best, actually. I don't know if I have a bunch of concerts coming up. I got to check the schedule to make sure I'm not there for one of those. Let me see. Oh crap. Yeah. I'll be seeing Glassjaw because I'm old.
Oh, nice.
You teaser, you.
Is that with Poison the Well?
Yeah. So you're bringing. It sure as shit is. Yeah. I'm so amped.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be so good.
Awesome.
Yeah. We just saw Poison the Well. We just saw Paleface, and then in 2 weeks we're going to go see.
Nice. I love
Chelsea Grin and Signs of the Swarm. Yeah.
I want to see.
Tickets are still available for that show. Y'all should go. Tickets are still available. It's on the 11th.
There it is.
Join us.
It'll be fun.
I'll keep you safe in the pit.
We are seeing Deftones really soon, actually, with Fleshwater. Shout out to a local. I quote unquote say local, but like they're from Boston. So
you got robbed with that one.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Those tickets are dumb expensive.
Yeah.
But was that Valentine's Day present?
Anniversary.
I think that was my anniversary present.
Oh, it's horrible.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I think at this point, every single question that I had has been answered except for one, which was, Joey, when did you know that you wanted to pursue being a haunter? Was there one experience? Was there one specific haunt? Was there one specific haunt actor that you came across that you were like, that's it, I have to do this myself?
Yeah. Ever since I was really young, I would, I would I grew up with horror movies at like a very young age, like younger than Levi, like probably like 8, 7, even 6 years old. Because my sister was like really into Freddy Krueger, and me and her would like draw like street chalk with each other, and I would like act out being like a horror movie character, just like around the house and like on the playground and stuff. And I would like technically be like scare acting then without even knowing I was. And then like when I like, because Spooky World was the first ever haunt attraction that like I ever like knew about, because it was, it was advertised a lot when I was in like middle school and like late elementary school, and I was like, oh, this place is cool. It's dark, it's creepy, it's got like horror. It's basically like you walk through your own horror movie. And when I first went there, it was probably like 2010, 2011, because I think they first opened up in New Hampshire in 2008. And that time, I went when I was like in middle school. I think I was like in 6th grade when I first went. And I just remember seeing the actors there, and just how they were acting was like, I was so mesmerized. And I thought it was so like out of my capabilities of doing, because I was just like, I just thought it was incredible, because it was something I was just so into. And I'm like, I want to do this so bad,
Yeah.
but like, like I don't know if I have what it takes, you know what I mean? So I like, I had it in like the back of my head. It's like, this is something I want to do, but I don't know if I will be able to do it. And like it's fast forward to like after COVID to like 2021, I just found out that like they were having a job fair, and I was like, this is it. This is my chance,
How did I miss this?
And
What
yeah.
the hell?
Right?
Yeah, and I'm like, finally. So I literally like dressed up like, like very professional, more than like anyone else probably I've ever seen at a job fair there. And I got hired basically right on the spot, like I brought my resume and everything. And yeah, like it was just always something I really wanted to do, because I love I love the it's almost like therapeutic in some ways of like scaring customers, because it really is like sort of like kind of like a let off of steam of sort of ways, because it's it's like, it's kind of hard to explain, but like just entertaining a customer while scaring them is incredible. It's an awesome feeling. Hearing that scream from that customer is incredible, and I love it. And it's like something that like I miss dearly when I'm not doing it a lot. And not because like I'm trying to like, provoke fear. I want, like I'm not trying to like ruin someone's day or anything, but like I want to entertain them. Like you go to a haunt attraction to get scared, You want to put on a good show for them,
Yeah.
And I want to provide that good show. I want to provide the screams. I want to get them scared. It's like if you're a dancer, you want to put on that good show. You want to be a good dancer, You want to do all the good dance moves and know the choreography, you know? I that's my goal. It's just like I just want to be able to scare and entertain the customers as much as I can,
That's awesome.
So, kind of tagging with that, and Levi, feel free to answer as well, because you said you do a little bit of haunting as well. What's the craziest scare that you've had?
Oh, it wasn't a scare, more of an odd customer, but I got to get. So there's this scene called Tree, and we're feral, cannibalistic people who live in the woods. So we kind of make a lot of grunting and growling, and we like are very invasive and whatever. So we can get. Also, we should explain that Hayride is the only spot at Spooky World where we can touch you. So on the Hayride, you can't touch us,
Noted.
But we can get up in your personal business. And the asylums and things like that, nobody's gonna grab you.
Nobody's going to take a chainsaw up to the cart where you are.
Well, they will take a chainsaw up to the cart where you are. But
True.
That's one of the best. But in Tree, we're feral. We're very get up in your face kind of thing. And I'm somebody who likes to get on top and like just like gross people out because it's fun. And this guy was being a little disruptive, so I just got to like growl and like point at him and laugh at him, and he couldn't. I just got to keep like defusing the situation because the people around me, I was entertaining them and they were annoyed already at this guy because it was an ongoing thing. So we all were, it became a game between me and the customers at that point. And then afterwards it was followed with him getting scared, which was even better because I threw him off his guard.
Good. Shut that shit down.
Perfect.
But I am an entertaining scare actor. I am not the scariest. I can admit that sometimes, unless I'm a vampire. I do a pretty good vampire in our cemetery. But
I could see that.
Joey's got the scares. Joey's got the scares above me. I gotta give him the credit.
Joey, you got a craziest scare?
I definitely do a lot, especially in the sideshow scene. Like there'll be like a lot of people that will come in there that are, because my character, I don't know, I think Levi might have mentioned it, but my character's name is Webster, and he's basically a possessed human spider, basically almost like it's not like Spider-Man, but
Man
it's a
spider.
similar kind of thing,
Man
but
spider.
more dark, more grotesque, more oh my gosh, kind of thing, where it's
His
basically like
makeup's
this.
gnarly.
It's this lengthy dude that what used to be I think he was like a banker before, and then he got like bitten by like the worst spider you can think of, trying to like mail a check or something, and he he talks like this, and he's just like a little gremlin that walks around, and he has like spider webs all over him. Yeah,
Awesome.
there's that right there.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got like eyes all over him. But anyways, something that Webster's able to do is he lays eggs like every 5 minutes or something. He like lays like a new egg or something like that, and he's always like trying to like find people to like take care of his eggs. And so when I like go on like the hayride, I'm always like crawling around people, and like because it's funny because
spiders on people.
Yeah, I drop
Oh, you
spiders on
bastard.
people, and there's been a couple times where people get terrified. People get so scared, and there was this one lady one time where it was I had a solo tractor, which means like I was the only actor that was able to get on and actually like do stuff and interact with the customers. The whole tractor was all afraid of spiders, and they all ran over to like the back of the tractor,
To one
and I was just
side.
like crawling over to them, like getting closer and closer, And then I also do a lot of slide acting for the hayride, which is great because you can't really do it a lot if you're doing house acting. I slid right over to them, and like I threw, and I went like with like my spider with like spiders that were already like in my hands, and they were almost like ready to like swing at me at that point. I've never seen something like that in my life.
People were not happy with that.
That's
I
incredible.
make a lot of people my characters are more uncomfortable. I have one silent
Perfect.
character
Ooh.
who is it's another cemetery character. Cemetery is my favorite scene. I have to admit, it is. I believe the
I love cemetery.
first part of the hayride, and it is one of my favorite scenes. It's just such a good ambient scene, and it's beautiful and scary all at once. It's perfect. But my character's name is Maury, and his story is that he's Satan's henchman. So he's who goes up and picks who's coming down. Or he'll bless the people who are good to live, and then curse people, and then death will come their way. Which is really fun.
Nice.
Again, when you have obnoxious customers or kids that you can really just like get up and like loom and lurk.
Then just fuck you.
Yeah.
You're cool.
You're cool. We'll bless you. You're safe.
Send you straight to
your
hell.
boyfriend sucks. He's cursed to the Shadow Realm. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. I've always wanted to be a haunter myself, but have never worked a career in my entirety of my life that has allowed me to take any amount of time off to do such a thing. But I also am 6'5" and I look like this, so I feel like the only thing I could be is a hillbilly who eats people or babies or something. So it's probably best
that would be pretty damn good, though.
Be a big Sam Squanch.
Yeah.
Little Sam Squanch.
Leatherface is one of my all-time favorites, so I would definitely just lean into it and walk around with like a baby on a chain or something and just be like, you look delicious.
Well,
what does your flesh taste
I could
like?
see you throwing open a sliding door.
Yeah. Buck and Daisy are getting a remodel.
I would.
Hey,
like
and
that.
the thing is too, it's like anyone can do this, you know? They have so many people, like, of any, like, appearance or body type. It doesn't matter what you look like, you know? You could be, like, 4'9" like Levi, and, like, 5 feet
That's
or
not my
whatever.
height.
I don't know, you're short. You could be as short as Levi, or you can be, like, the biggest bodybuilder. Like there'll be like some like heavy bodybuilder dudes there that have these characters called Billy Ray and Cyrus, or and that are just like running around.
Billy
and
Ray and
like,
Cyrus are awesome. They have like
those
grotesque
are great.
masks. They actually
Jesus
had
Christ.
me on the last night put drag on them underneath their masks.
Hell yeah.
Billy Ray and Cyrus
That's
are
awesome.
Shout out.
Yeah, or
Billy
like
Ray.
there's even,
Jason
like,
Michael, what were you gonna ask?
Joey, hang on. Joey, you want to finish that?
It's all good. I was basically just saying, and then there's also like this other person that we that does like the midway acting, which is basically where you basically haunt throughout the whole park. But it's at that point it's like it's mainly like you're kind of more entertaining the crowd because you're doing it through like the lines and like the parking lot and stuff like that. You're not really going through any of the houses or anything, or I mean you can sometimes, but it depends on the night. But we have like someone who like goes through with like a big teddy bear costume because
And she's
apparently like
inside the teddy bear.
yeah, she's just like walking around in like this big teddy bear costume with like a ribbon. She doesn't say anything, and she's just like, it's all just like she's got like some like blood on her, and she's just like doing her thing.
Bear costume.
It's like people come up with such funny, crazy,
so
creative characters, and it's so inspiring to see them.
Oh yeah,
and
Nice.
Everyone's got something new
That's
to the
awesome.
table. We love it.
Nice. Well, based off of that then, and it's going to be the most basic bitch of questions, but who and or what inspires you in this line?
Scare actors. That's such a good question.
Yes!
It's a really good one.
I have a lot.
It stumps me.
I have a lot of inspiration, but because obviously, like, I will say, like, because the midway actors at Spooky World they give so much advice because it is something that you do have to audition for because it's so much because you're constantly in character.
Yeah,
and
midway.
you're constantly having customers like look at you, or they're really like, oh, they see someone from the distance, like oh, there's a clown there, what they're doing, it's like because you're in character. If you're out of character, then like you're kind of like ruining the effect on it at that point. Obviously, when we see customers through the hayride, we're still in character, but for them, it's definitely a lot more trickier, and you're going through like all night. And a lot of them like are really inspiring and give a lot of really great info. And someone who I really am inspired by from like the actors there are these two actors. Actually, they're both clown characters, and they're basically at this point the Spooky World mascots. They go by Slinky and Vortex. Their real name
Slortex.
Yeah, Slortex collectively.
Slortex.
And
Nice.
their real names are just Brian and JJ. And those two are phenomenal people. I love them to death. They have the best advice for acting because they've been doing it for so long, and they give acting classes for new people that go there too. Because something at Spooky World, like, yeah, you technically go, like, if you start working there, you technically go into the fire, but they obviously have so much advice and acting help to give, and that's something that Slortex provides so much. And those two in particular, because I love like what they do. They are basically they're both clown characters. They're both like crazy kooky clown characters, and it's something that I'm not. I like clown acting because there was like a carnival clown scene on the hayride previously, but there isn't anymore. Just because
Aw.
it got decayed and like became very old,
Uh,
run down.
It was falling
Dangerous.
apart. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Damn.
was falling apart, and it was hard for them to actually like revamp it because of the amount of architecture that was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a little bit of it. It was fun. However, though, I don't think I could do it all night. But somehow these two, they do it all the
They're
time. They are
clowning.
clowns through and
They
through.
clown on the off season. They just go to Boston together as
Yeah.
clowns and just do
They'll
it.
even go to they'll go to concerts
It's
all
a
the
huge
time,
part
just
of their
in clowns.
personality. That's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Wow.
Out of anybody at Spooky World, they would inspire me the most. Especially with I love a duo character. I'm all right on my own, but I work so much better in a pair. And Joey and I have our vampires are a good duo and a good example of that. But we get a lot of inspiration from Slortex and
Love that combo name. It's still a great name.
They're so
Me too.
funny. They're just so
Yeah,
funny, and they just
like
have
the way they
fun.
talk to each other in person too when they're not in character, like you can tell like they have like a
They have a really genuine connection and a good back and forth.
They're
It's
so
awesome.
whippy, they're so quirky, like, you know, like Brian will like walk around with like a little slinky all the time.
They're just
and like
themselves.
it's almost like they're in character at all times. It's so cool.
That's what I love about Spooky World is that I really realized that, and it was my first. So a little bit of backstory is that I met Spooky World's kind of how Joey and I met. My friend took me there on a really rough, weird time of my life, and I ended up meeting Joey on an app, and they were like, "Yo," I was like, "You work at Spooky World? I went there tonight," and he was like, "I'm not." I was there literally every other night except for tonight because I was doing inventory.
Damn it!
It was the one night he wasn't there, and then I think that next week after we met, I ended up going and doing it for the last 6 nights of the year, and I really did fall in love with it, and I fell in love with the people. Another person that really inspires me from Spooky World is JJ or Joey, and we also have a lot of on the makeup field. Oh my god, I can't even pick one. Like all the makeup artists there are incredible. But there's this woman named Jill, or Zombie Undead on social media. She's she's really great. She's incredible. And she's a pretty decent sized name in her field of work, which is awesome, and it just gives us such a good networking opportunity as well as a really, really great artist to learn from. And she's so humble and nice and embraces all of our different styles, because I mean, when you're doing art, especially makeup, next to 2 other makeup artists who are also incredible, it's hard to not feel like somebody has the upper hand, not in a competitive way, but you're always wanting to learn more. And there's just so much encouragement in that small space, because like you can't be mad at your friend next to you because their scare makeup is scary as hell, and that's awesome. And I could learn from that and just ask how they did that. But I get all of my inspiration for Spooky World stems from like vintage Halloween and like old folklore and scary stories and just icky stuff. Just but also plastic Halloween masks from 1950, you know?
Righteous.
For sure, we love that. Like,
best masks ever.
Mm-hmm.
They're hard to find too. Like if you ever like want to like find ones like from the 50s, like they're hard to find. Like I collect masks, and mainly like Trick or Treat Studios like premium masks, and I was gonna say, oh, there we go.
He's one of many.
I don't know if you can see from here, but I got a good. There's just some of the ones I have right there, including
Is that
Art
Otis?
the Clown, which
Yeah, Art
is
the
You got
Clown's
Captain
right
I
Spaulding?
see
there.
Art
right up
Spaulding,
there.
couple
Yeah, Captain
zombies,
Spaulding.
or
We got Michael
yeah.
Myers. We got Jigsaw, or sorry, Billy the Doll right up there. And then just a whole bunch all
I
over
have
my room.
Leatherface
But
behind me.
oh, we love that.
So
It's funny enough, actually. Oh, sorry. I was just
no,
gonna
you're good.
say, my Art the Clown one's actually signed by David Howard Thornton and Damian Leone,
I
which
was gonna
is
say I'm looking at.
love that.
Oh, the
I was gonna
duo.
say I
You
also
done
met
fucked
him.
up, Jason Michael.
Motherfucker, you were with me. So we went to the most recent Silver Scream Con,
Us too.
and what day?
All of them.
So we
We're
we
there all
probably
weekend.
walked past
We
each other.
walked past each other.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We met
100%.
David Howard Thornton, and that's who I have my mask signed by. Didn't get Damien's signature, unfortunately, but damn it.
Yeah.
You got
I
this
got
one up
one.
on me.
Yes, that's so funny. I'm looking at the Terrifier is staring at me right above my desk right now, as well as David Howard Thornton's signature on it.
Thought you were gonna just say and David Howard Thornton, just a
And
picture of him, just like
David Howard Thornton himself is
He just
behind my monitor.
walks on screen. We would lose
He's an
it, by the
ass.
way. We're in love with that man. This has become like his home. Anything that he
Yeah.
does, we
Yes.
cover.
He's a beautiful. He's a beautiful.
We will
man.
be doing Screamboat.
We love him.
He's just a little guy. I can't wait
Oh,
for
hell yeah.
Screamboat.
It looks so cool.
I have a living dead doll of the Terrifier,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
does.
it's my precious. He lives on a shelf.
Oh, I almost
and
bought
I can't
it.
touch him.
Oh.
I love.
I almost bought it.
And say I also have the Trick or Treat Studios Art the Clown doll like on my like little collection that I have.
Mhm.
I guess like prized possession right there. I still have it in the box and everything.
and they're coming out with NECA figures for him too. And Toonie
know.
Terrors.
Yeah, they sure are.
Very excited.
Can't wait to get my Toonie
Very
Terrors.
excited.
I
I
was
was-
gonna say I want the Toonie Terror one really bad.
Rob's the Toonie Terrors, I'm the
I'll
NECA
have to-
figures.
I think I'm gonna end up being the Toonie
It's-
Terror.
Yeah, other end of my office. I'm not going to move my camera or anything, but I have an entire wall. I have every Toonie Terror except for currently with the new ones, I'm missing 5. So until these ones come out, yeah, I have the entire
Let's say,
collection.
I
I have
have a
everything
pretty-
they've released.
I have a pretty good size one. I don't have all the Killer Clowns ones. But I do have I have the Jaws
were hard to
one, I
find.
have the Jigsaw one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they are.
I have both of the Jigsaws.
Yeah. I actually don't have any of the Universal Monster
Well-
ones, which is surprising because anything Universal Monster I'm always trying to grab.
Hell yeah.
I got my Monster.
Well,
High Dog
just in
collection.
case you think you're going to go out and get them all, just be prepared. They released Frankenstein's monster in black and white now as well. So
Frankenstein's
Yeah.
monster is my favorite one. That's my favorite.
that's the only one I've purchased so far.
Damn.
I think
Cool.
I've only seen the
Like a
Mummy out in
session
public.
coming on.
Well, with all of that being said, I think we've got 2 more questions for you. The last one will be very simple, but this next one is going to require a little bit of thinking and a lot of fun. What is the first horror movie that you remember watching?
Oh. I think I got it.
Yeah,
I don't
there
I
we
think
go.
I know.
I
Damn.
think I got it.
All right.
Mine was the Blair Witch Project, and I think I was like 4 or 5, and I saw the original Blair Witch Project.
That's one of Rob's
I
top
love the
movies.
And I
that
saw a tongue, and I think
We did a
that's
whole
where it all
episode on it.
changed.
we did for our top
Absolutely
threes
love Blair Witch
last
Project.
season.
Blair Witch Project.
Last
I
season,
gotta rewatch it.
awesome.
I love that.
I rewatch it multiple times a year.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's perfect.
Yeah,
I
that
saw
mo-
the tongue.
that
and I
movie's
think that
phenomenal.
started my love for gore. Gore
No,
started there.
honestly,
Oh,
Blair
so good.
the Blair Witch Project is so ahead of its time. It's just because it was one of the first found footage movies that really kicked off and got people talking about those type of movies. It was so low budget. The actors didn't really do anything after that too. They're very it's just so genuine.
Yeah.
It's really one of those movies that it's so itself, It almost doesn't even feel
Yeah.
like a movie. It almost feel like a snuff film almost, It's
You guys
crazy.
are going higher and higher on Rob's list of favorite people now.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, no, we're
can
best
have a
friends
group to go
now.
to
We'll be
Silver
hanging out all the
Spring Con.
time.
Now you'll visit us.
Do karate in the garage. It'll be fine.
If you ever need a
100%.
hairstylist, I got you.
Yeah, I'll be hitting up Joey to make sure that you're working when I'm coming shopping now.
Yes, of course. As for me, I guess like for like the first horror movie I remember like seeing, because I think like the first horror movie character I've ever seen was probably Chucky for sure. At least like have like a memory of. Chucky's just so memorable.
Again.
But
Boys,
Jason Michael, you can leave
watching...
now.
Yeah, I mean this is you guys' show.
But in terms of actually like the movie that I actually remember seeing, there's like two. It's either the original Dracula movie.
There we go.
Or it was A Nightmare on Elm Street for sure.
Ooh,
perfect.
The first one. And like, you know, I'm a huge Dracula guy. I love vampire lore. I love like I've read the Bram Stoker's Dracula novel multiple times. I have seen a good bit of. I haven't seen every Dracula film, but I've seen like a good bit of them. Obviously, I'm a huge Nosferatu fan, obviously, but no, I think like honestly, like watching Dracula for the first time, it scared the crap out of me when I was like probably 5 or 6, and because it's a very quiet film, you know, it's very unsettling in a lot of ways. There's not a lot of music to it. It's very suspenseful. It's a lot of the times it's just Bela Lugosi just like staring into like either the camera or like at a character and just like doing his thing in like a shadow, you know? It's very quiet, very unsettling, and I love it. There's not a lot of movies like it, and I think that movie is just like perfection there and out. And then obviously there's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Can't pinpoint which one I saw first. It might have been A Nightmare on Elm Street just because my sister was obsessed with Freddy Krueger. She really isn't anymore, unfortunately. But like either way, like just like I just have such vivid memories of just seeing Freddy Krueger just running around like on screen. You know, him like tearing up his chest. And just like make it his laugh, and my dad also like quoted him a lot, like growing up too. He'd be like, he'd say like the other like from like the other films, like I'm Jesse. There is no Jesse. I'm Jesse now. Blah blah blah.
You know, just casually inducing nightmares in children. It's fine.
Yeah, and it even got to the point where my dad actually bought a 80s movie store cardboard cutout of Freddy Krueger, and he would like put it outside of our bedroom doors, and anytime we woke up in the morning, boom, there's Freddy just right there.
Are you really awake?
It would scare the crap out of my sister and I all the time. He mainly did it to my sister, not me, but like still, it was hilarious. And he would just have it outside of like our window during Halloween and have like a little light over it for like trick or treaters to see. He'd be like, "Oh, look, it's Freddy." Yeah,
that's awesome. That's so cool.
That's awesome. Oh man. Well, we both want to thank you both so very much for coming on. This has been enlightening. This has been amazing. I look forward to seeing you again at the store soon, Joey. I look forward to seeing both of you this season at Spooky World. It's going to be great to see you both in character. Where can everyone find you? What are your socials if you want them out there? We will also tag them in the show notes so that people can find you if you are wanting to be found.
You can find me, as I stated earlier, Morticia Delicia is on the.Morticia on Instagram. And then I do hair, and I sling grilled cheese sandwiches at Cheese Louise in Portsmouth. If you ever need a grilled cheese sandwich, you can find me there. I also sling haircuts at the Ulta Salon, and I do queer and gender affirming haircuts as well as sensory friendly haircuts at the Ulta Salon. And I'm trying to think what else. My regular Instagram is just Levi Best. I think it's lev.io or something like that. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect.
Rad.
Nice.
Joey?
I just use I just use Instagram for the most part. I don't really I don't have like anything else to like really plug, but Yeah, my Instagram is under Abacross_ or just under Joey Masry. I don't really, I don't, I don't really take my social media too seriously. So if you want to follow it, it's there. I mainly just post stuff or share stuff for the heck of it.
It's mostly music.
Whatever.
It's mostly
it's mostly music. Sometimes horror movies. Sometimes scare acting
Pictures of
stuff.
us.
Whatever it be. A lot of memes sometimes.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sounds like
Righteous.
mine. My Instagram is exactly the same. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you both so very much. We really appreciate taking the time out of your evening to talk with us, and we do look forward to seeing you and talking to you again. When maybe we'll have you back on an actual spoiler episode. But until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much as well. Would love to be back on at any point.
Right.
That'd be
Happy
awesome.
to make new friends.
All right. Well, we hope you all enjoyed that as much as we did. That was an interview that we have been wanting to do for a long time. Talk to horror actors, people who do the makeup, everyone behind the scenes and in front of your face.
What a find, dude. What just a normal trip out to go get food, and then all of a sudden it turned into an interview and new friends.
I got to get my vegan wares, and then we make new friends. I absolutely love it. You suckers will 100%. Yeah, you'll 100% be hearing from Joey and Levi again. There's not a chance that we're not going to be talking to them again. I want them back on. We got to get them on for a spoiler, like plain and simple. The two of them are just, oh my God, the knowledge Joey had on horror. Wow. So yeah, you'll be hearing from them again. Now, if you were looking at both of us going, they seem like they're showing off more of their torsos than they normally do in, none
also,
of the videos you've ever seen. Yeah. We have decided that this episode is going to be dedicated to locals. We wanted to put the locals in New Hampshire, New England to the forefront. Joey and Levi being local New Hampshire haunters and makeup haunt performers, all of that. We really wanted to give credit where credit is due to other locals who are doing things for the community or for your personal pleasure and joy. I am wearing a Middleman shirt. Middleman is my friend Mike's band. He is indeed the Middleman. He's the lead singer. They are absolutely awesome. Yeah. They rock.
He's the singer,
they do
not the drummer.
Yeah. They do covers, but they do their own renditions of the covers. They ramp them up a bit, make them a lot more energetic. They have their own songs. They're dope. They are very well known in New Hampshire. They've been on the radio. They've been interviewed multiple times. They've played huge stages. They play your local bar. You may just hear one of us or both of us at one of those and see them on their Instagram. If you want to check out Middleman, go down to the show notes. They are tagged in there. And if you really want to hear a little bit of what they've got for you, just stay tuned after this. We're going to play a little bit of one of their songs. Not to mention, we will have all of their upcoming dates for, the next handful of weeks. So if you're in the New England area and you want to catch them, that's where you can go. You just go check them out and let us know if you've gone. Let Mike know that you're there. Say that Spoiler Sleepover sent you. And take a picture with him because there's a good chance he'll be wearing a Spoiler Sleepover shirt. Jason Michael, what are you rocking?
I am rocking, and hopefully it's not backwards, and if it is, I'll find a way to fix it. Concord Craft Brewing. Yes, that's right. As you've probably heard many a times, I'm a fan of breweries, so one of my favorite ones to frequent quite often is Concord Craft in the heart of downtown Concord, New Hampshire. It's a great place to be. It's very friendly. All the staff are very friendly and very knowledgeable on the brews that they are pouring. So if you are over the age of 21 and, of course, a legal driving adult that has a either designated driver or someone that's not a drinker. So when we go on adventures, Rob will be the driver. So, of course, indulge responsibly. And of course, please drive safe. Do not drive under the influence. But besides that, Conquer Craft Brewing. Ta-da!
That's fantastic. Please, if you are in New England, if you're anywhere in the US, in the world, do yourself a favor. After listening to this episode, go out and support a local business, a local band, a local company, somebody that is only in your town, in your state. Go out and support them. We are in a very hard time in the world right now, not just the United States, but the world. And independent local artists, artisans, business owners are struggling right now. This is your opportunity to go out and give a little bit. And if you've learned nothing from Spoiler Sleepover, we talk a lot of shit, but we also bring a fuck ton of love. So this is us bringing love to our local state, to the local people who work hard, who grind, who make some dope ass music for your entertainment, who make some delicious ass beer to make this music even more entertaining. Go out and support as much as you can. With that being said, until next week, sleep tight, suckers.
Support your local business, bitch.
Yeah.
Now, I threw out my arm with that.
Now some Middleman.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Spoiler Sleepover, but the fun won't stop there. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and if you have any episode ideas, please send them our way at spoilersleepover@gmail.com. That'd be really fantastic of you. So, until next week, sleep tight, suckers!
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!